In this session, we are going to look at how do you use the service bus queue message processing with the help of Service Fabric. So basically, we are going to create a Service Fabric API or REST API, and in that we are going to create a Service Fabric Service Bus queue listener, which will listens to the incoming messages of a Service Bus queue. So first of all, you can go ahead and create a service bus queue. You can search the service bus, create new service bus. Procedure is simple and easy. Just provide the name of service bus queue and location and choose a specific pricing tier. So I've already created one for this particular demonstration. I've given the name as an AZ Learning Dash Bus. Here I've generated the access policy for that for the same thing. So here in this service bus queue, so if I go back to the service bus queue, here I've created the access policy, and then once you have the service bus created, you can create a queue, which I've already created. I've given a name of queue, and now in Microsoft Azure you have the service bus explorer, which is in preview right now. So like you have the storage explorer in preview, you have the service bus explorer in preview. You can send the message to the service bus queues directly from here. Like for example, you can choose the JSON type in this and then provide a JSON message, application JSON or plain text or whatever format you want to send. Basically you can send the message right from here. Okay, and then now next part is the listening. So I've already sent a message. You can see the one of the messages inactive. These are the different settings for the service bus queue. Like max delivery count is 10, so the same message can be received 10 times. If the one of the time is, let's say, failed due to some reason, due to some exception, or due to failed in the delivery, then it can retry up to 10 times. The size of message is displayed here right now. The maximum size which you can change up to 5 GB. By default it is 1 GB. Maximum retention time you can change up to 90 days, in my understanding. uh, you can also change the log duration. For example, it has mentioned 30 seconds, but if your service queue processing time is more than 30 seconds, then you might want to change it to some longer duration. I think it can go up to 5 minutes. So let's move on to the service queue. So I'm going to open my Visual Studio. So this is my service bus applications. Here in this case, I'm going to create a new service bus service in the service bus application itself, and I'm going to choose a stateless service, or let's call the stateless messaging service. So here's the service which I've created just now. Now basically you need to change the service type, the inheritance. By default, when you create the stateless service, it is inherited from the stateless service class. So instead of that, you need to change it to iCommunication Listener, which is this one. Once you change that, you would have the service. Go back to the WinSource programs. Here in this case, we have the communication listener, the service bus queue listener. So for that, what I'm going to do here is I've already have the copy of the source code which I want to use. So I'll quickly copy that. So basically what I wanted to do here is I want to use the connection. This, once you have this, so for now I've just given the name of the connection string and the queue name as hard coded, but ideally you should be reading it from the key vault. Next thing, we want to make sure that you are creating the listener instance and passing out to the service bus queue listener. So you need to create the instance of the service bus queue listener. So for that, I'll just copy this code and then I'll explain you what exactly we are doing it here. So I'll use broker inheritance. Windows Azure, we need to install this package, Windows Azure.servicebusqueue. So let's install the package first of all. Before I install, I just want to make sure it is correct and it's a valid package to be installed for the .NET Core application. So I found it correctly, so I'm installing it right now. So here's my test message. I'm going to create a generator method with that, and let's say call debug, right, and the message. Right, that's it. And now here, what do we want to do here is let's create a service bus queue listener from here. So we create a new class file from here, and as you can see here in the screen, the class file will have inherited from the communication listener. So let's do that. Once you do create a class, you'll see the communication listener is successfully created for you, and here you can implement run the application. Now let's look at if it is running as it is expected. So I can see the application is running now. I've changed the name of the application from application 1 to service fabric slash demo. This is the service fabric application which has my stateless one service. Inside that, this is the partition we have, and this is the node 0 on which the application is running right now. If I go back to the implementation, so as I mentioned previously, we are having the connection string mentioned here in the plain text, but you should be mentioning the or reading the key values of the connection string and the name of the configuration from your key vault basically, or the configuration file, whichever suits good to you. And here in the listener, create listener, what we are saying is we have the brokered message delegate, which will take action or execute when a message is arrived. So basically this is the delegate which we are asking and we are passing on to our listener. So whenever a listener is going to be invoked, so inside this we are creating the instance on arrival of message open. We are creating the instance of the service queue, and there we are passing the on message event. So the service bus queue client has the event on message. So whenever a message will arrive, we are sending the message information back to the delegate, and the delegate is here. This is the delegate. So if I go back and try to test this, so let me go and go back and into our service queue. Here we are going to send a message to our service queue ID, let's say data, or just we'll call it one. So if I'm going to send this message, I'm expecting the message to be read by the delegate controller, and you can see once I switch back, I have the message ID which has been sent from here, and here I'm printing the message ID. So here you can actually put your actual logic. So what exactly you want to do with the with your message, how do you want to proceed or process your message. So that's the logic you can pass on or implement here, and this will keep on listening your service queue. So whenever a message will arrive, this will trigger. So this is the way we have discussed. So we have tried implementing a service application with a message processing service, in which we have added a service queue listener, which is basically listening to any incoming message in the service queue. I hope this was useful. Thanks for watching it. And one thing to mention here is I'll post a GitHub link for the application source code. So I was using one of the GitHub link which is available here. So I'll post the same link in my YouTube channel or YouTube video. Thanks for watching. Let's look at the demo.